Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload, and today it's going to be a best of 5 between GuMiho and SoO from the WCS Global Finals that wrapped up sometime last month. It's patch 4.0, and let's get right on into it. And game number 1. Here is GuMiho and SoO on Mech Depot. In the top right-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. His name is SoO. And in the bottom left-hand corner, it is going to be the red Terran player. His name is GuMiho, known for his creativity, known for his doing weird stuff that nobody else likes to do as Terran. And sometimes it means he loses games, but sometimes it means he wins them too, which is always exciting to see here. SoO, on the other hand, is just one of the elite Zergs on the entire planet. Just on the face of the whole planet here. If you asked around who are the best Zergs, his name absolutely comes up here. He is known, perhaps sadly, mostly for his second place finishes in major tournaments in StarCraft 2. But if you're taking second place consistently, you're elite. Like, there's just no question. There is no question that your Zerg play is as good as anybody else's on the planet at any given day. All right, Hatch firsting it here against GuMiho. No sign of a proxy from GuMiho, which he's been known to do, and proxies unscouted could be problematic for Zerg players. But today, no such thing out of GuMiho. He is instead hanging out. GuMiho is just doing the real standard stuff here of making a barracks back home. And the rally tells me it's probably going to be a Reaper. He does have gas coming up back home here. And in fact, it is. So this Reaper's name is going to be Jack Frost. Congratulations, you beat the Terran campaign. 10 Falcon bucks to whoever gets the reference in the comments. So if you, I don't know. If you want to put it in the comments what that's from, I'm not going to spoil anything. Then the first person to do so gets 50 Falcon bucks, which I don't think I've ever mentioned before, but 50 Falcon bucks has some exchange rate with Shrewd bucks, right? I'm sure there's some kind of an exchange going in there. Anyway, here comes a Jack Frost moving across the map. Expanding behind it is GuMiho. So he's got 6 lings on the way instead of the customary 4, which means he wants to get something out here to try to cause problems for GuMiho's stuff, but that's a real nice wall. Terran players, make note of this nice wall. Barracks, factory, got the reactor helping too, and the supply depot. Only possible on certain maps, but Mech Depot is one of them. I think Mech Depot's actually gone out of the pool. Look at it patrolling all these lings. Rawr, we got you. We got you, dude. Can you hop up over here? Yeah, you can hop up in the main if you want, Reaper. You don't have to come through this way. I mean, just trying to bait him off, but all they're doing is buying time until the queen pops out and there's the queen. So unfortunately, Jack Frost gets absolutely no scouting information whatsoever. All he knows is that there are 6 lings out, which, great, good to know. I'll report back to the high command, and they will be super happy to hear that. Hellion follow-up, and another Reaper on the way. Interesting. So a little Hellion Reaper pressure planned out for GuMiho right about now. Overlords are still scouting, still overlording it across the map here, trying to see is there any proxy stuff I have to worry about? No. Setting himself up for a scout around 4 minutes. Around 4 minutes here. This is the 0.82 move speed. Oh, actually, no, I lied. When I said this was 4.0, I was 1 patch off. What is wrong with you, Falcon? Sometimes, I don't know, man. Sometimes you're problematic. Speed just about done here for these lings, which means the Reaper's time is growing short. This is actually 319, the last patch of 3. Oh, going for that third base. Hellions do defend Jack Frost, though. That was a pretty darn good move. Now the Hellions and the Reapers are going to try to take down this third. Is there enough DPS on these guys, 2 Hellions and a Reaper, to actually force a cancel on this hat tree? The answer is no, but by golly, it's close. It is almost even, and then another Reaper shows up to lend his damage against it. Queens are slow walking their way across the map. Well, not all the way across the map, but here. Oh, there's the Hellbat transformation too. He's going to get a cancel on this thing. The Queens don't want anything to do with Hellbats, and by golly, does force a cancel on that third base. Amazing stuff. 1 drone goes down as the cancel drone had nowhere else to go. And here comes some ling pressure, trying to get up here into the natural, but no, there's a great wall right now. I mean, sure, you can try to knock down this reactor, I suppose. Overlord speed is done. SCV is forced to repair on this thing. 2-3 SCVs enough to outdo the DPS. Meanwhile, pushing on in with Hellbats and 3 Reapers. This is an interesting push. Like I said, GuMiho does crazy stuff. And 4 Queens versus this. Is it going to be enough is the question of the day. I don't know. Some of them going after these drones who are all pretty well stacked up, unfortunately. And is the reactor going to go down before the Cyclones pop? It does end up going down here, but still holding the line are these SCVs, and all these lings are absolutely going to die. Meanwhile, the Hellbat's not dying. Roaches do pop out, which is exactly what you want in this situation. Banelings are also a good answer, but the Hellbats do manage to get cleaned up there. 4 drones do fall during that attack. 1 Roach, 14 Lings. Cyclones using their lock-on ability on this Overlord, which does have speed. Can they kill it before it escapes? And yes. They absolutely do. So, can he take a third base now? Yes. He's going to come back in and take his third base once that's been cleaned up. Nice little push there from GuMiho, though. That is always a scary thing for Zergs. Make note, Terran players, if you can get Hellbats in your opponent's base under 5 minutes, you're doing something good. Really good here. And SoO's Roaches popped just in the nick of time. I mean, he didn't have them when that attack showed up. He did have a Roach Warren on the way, but it wasn't super viable yet. All right, so it actually changes out the factory reactor for a tech lab and starts making tanks, saying if you're going to have Roaches and Ravagers, tanks are a better choice here anyway than these Hellions and these Hellbats. SCV comes down, gets murdered. Oh, check this out. We got Roaches and Ravagers with the counterattack. Repair the bunker. Corrosive Vials trying to take that thing down real fast. Almost getting it, but not quite. They do want to get the tech lab, and they do. But tank's already out, right? Yeah, tank's out. Tank's in siege mode. And so SoO decides it is time to retreat. More and more blue just streaming across the map here. Some of it's Overlords. Could he go for a Drop Lord action? Seems like something he could want to do with all this attention focused on the front door, but perhaps not. Perhaps not as well. Third base about to pop here for SoO. He's long distance mining from it. It's 52 to 49 harvesters. He has a lead, but it's not a big one. But he does have map control right now. GuMiho's not able to take a third base while there's these Roaches and Ravagers out, and these Lings too. Look at this spread by SoO. Just gorgeous. Another Overlord scouts on in. Does get taken out by Cyclones and Marines. So pretty good scouting thus far, I would say. He sees the additional factories here. Oh, builds the third base inside the main and lands it just to the right of the main base here, while coming out with two Cyclones to possibly defend. Nah, man, these are aggressive Cyclones in this medevac. They're going to fly on out, try to get something done while there's a contain setup. But guess what? No contain. There's actually not a contain. For some reason, SoO's pulling all his stuff back to his third base. He was worried about this, and he was right to be worried about this. Medevac trying to find somewhere. I guess we'll just kill some creep tumors while we're at it. They do a lot of damage versus armored stuff, and guess what? Creep tumors as buildings are in fact armored. Sometimes you think armored means big things, but no. Not the case. Armored can be small things too, like stalkers and roaches. And holding the high ground inside SoO's own main base are a couple Cyclones for about 3 seconds before they retreat. Another attack coming up from GuMiho up to the third base. Got tanks, got Marines, got Hellbats. Got some Liberators in production too, but they're not here quite yet. These 3 tanks are going to cause problems for this Roach Ravager thing here. Trying to kill some of these drones onto the gas at the very least. What a crazy chaotic situation right now. Queens are here too. Queens transfusing themselves and transfusing others as best as they're able to do. 3 drones do end up dead. Roaches trying to get on top of these Marines and murder them. Cyclones need to focus them down. Doesn't actually really matter. This third base is going to fall. I really don't see SoO saving this. He's got 14 Roaches on the way, but is it going to be in time as these Cyclones are hammering that hatchery for all that they're worth right now? Roaches sacrificing their own lives to draw fire away from that third base. It's going to be close. I think GuMiho needs to focus it, and he does end up getting the third base very nicely there. Some Roaches again showing up, but God, 2 tanks. 14 kills and 12 tanks. Or 14 kills and 13 kills on these tanks. They are absolutely doing work for GuMiho right now. He's got a third base down. He's just killed the third base of SoO's. People have not taken GuMiho seriously in the past, but that's a good game from SoO. SoO is defeated in game number 1, and GuMiho is your winner. Give him a game number 1, or a 1 up next to his name there on the top right. We'll track that throughout this series. Hi, caramba. GuMiho holding off that counterattack. The early aggression was great, coming over, killing the third base while establishing a third base of his own. It's 128 to 78 total supply. SoO knew even on 2 bases he wasn't going to win this thing. Definitely not going to win this. Losing that third was a massive blow. And that's going to be it for game number 1. Resources lost 6,500 for SoO compared to a mere 2,600 for GuMiho. Okay, game 2 coming at you from Falcon Paladin in just a second. The best of 5 between GuMiho and SoO will continue here on Abyssal Reef, the ladder edition, in game number 2. Top left corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the red Terran player whose name is GuMiho from Psystorm Gaming, and holy shamoly, what a performance in game number 1. One of the more solid builds and solidly executed plays we've seen against a Zerg ever, especially one as good as SoO. And in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, it's going to be the blue Zerg player. His name is SoO. SoO is fun to say. Real fun to say. Is it 2? It's going to be 2 SCVs coming out here. GuMiho going for the proxy stuff. Some players, if they're up one game against someone who's really, really good, they will play conservatively, but GuMiho says, actually getting scouted here. Dang it, GuMiho. Look at this Overlord pathing from SoO. You still have Abyssal Reef, guys. You should definitely still pay attention to stuff on this map. Wow. I mean, GuMiho, unashamed, is just continuing to build barracks here. The other SCV says, I wonder if I can maybe do something without the Overlord seeing it, but I assume SoO's going to send some drones out sooner than he is. So 3 drones coming out trying to fight this, but there are 3 SCVs here too. Fight, at least delay. Delay until the barracks is done is the concept right now. Another drone joins it though. Oh, I don't know if this barracks is ever going to go down. And what? Just doing merry-go-round SCVs right now, trying to get this thing completed. I think this guy's going to finish it. And by golly, he does. In the midst... Ooh, and he dies instantly. In the midst of all of this aggression, he does get the barracks down. 1 Marine is in production right now. But once SoO sees this happening, I think he's okay. He's got the pool down, right? He's got queens out. He's going to make, I assume, some lings. There we go. Just now starting some zerglings. Okay. Excellent news. And it's a Reaper on the way. Is he... did he change that Marine for a Reaper? I feel like he changed that Marine for a Reaper on us. Believe he did. This Reaper's name is Tsunami. Kill them all. 50 more Falcon Bucks to whoever gets this reference in the comments. Oh, actually game 1 was 10 Falcon Bucks. This one is 50 Falcon Bucks. I got that mixed up. So this is Tsunami. Kill them all. Don't know exactly what's a reference to, but here we go. And again, queens are already out. The queens are the anti-Reaper unit. Once queens are out, it's just... Reapers have the hardest time getting stuff done, as Terran players will attest. Roach Warren, immediate here from SoO. He says, all right, so you're missing a barracks back home, which means you're not really producing much back home either. You're trying to take up to a factory, probably trying to expand. This little counterattack from SoO could be fairly devastating. Again, I don't know how long this game is. I did not watch them beforehand, and I didn't check out the game timer either, as I definitely avoid doing that. Lings trying to knock down these supply depots. Pew, pew, pew. Actually, that's not the sound they make. Rawr, rawr, rawr. They make growling noises. This SCV is a veteran of the Battle of the Barracks. Building this command center. Gets it done. Oh, no! He finished constructing on the outside. And the Lings killed him. Oh, the veteran died. Super bad news. So many Lings. So many Lings out right now. GuMiho repositions his barracks and says, maybe if I put it over here, nobody will notice. 7 roaches, no, 4 roaches, 4 more roaches in production here. SoO is definitely going to go for a crazy strong Ravager counterattack. He's down 24 to 18 Harvesters, which is bad as a Zerg player, but if you can win the next couple of minutes, it doesn't really matter. It just absolutely 100% does not matter. So he's setting up. He's got speed on his Lings, which is exceptionally good here. These poor Reapers. Get out of there, Reapers. KD8 charges deftly avoided by most of those Lings. One of them gets picked off, and the other one running for its life. Are there any cliffs I can hop up anywhere nearby? No. No Reaper. Oh, there is. He found one. Whew. Saved his life there. Gonna hop back around and try to do some killing here in the main base. And you know what? There are no queens home. That's actually going to be interesting. But who's here? Bunch of roaches at the front door of the GuMiho. What is ready to go? A Liberator? No, and that's a good game. Yeah, he had a Liberator on the way and a couple Hellions, but it wasn't enough. It really wasn't. There were 7 roaches and a Ravager at the front door with 12 Zerglings. There was 1 Reaper on the field for GuMiho, and he was back here at the other base. So, your Gs get scouted. Bad things happen. Really bad things happen, especially if you're playing against somebody as good as SoO is. So SoO gets a 1. Whew, we're tied up. It turns into a best of 3. The next person to win 2 games will be the ultimate winner and move on to the next round of the WCS Global Finals. So let's check it out in just a second. Our best of 5 continues here on Ascension to Ire for game number 3. And let's introduce these players again. In the top left-hand corner of the map, it is the Red Terran player. His name is GuMiho, which kind of sounds like Rufio, if you say it that way. GuMiho, GuMiho. And in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, it's going to be the Blue Zerg player, SoO, who honestly just reacted perfectly to that scout. Poor GuMiho went for the proxy, immediately got scouted. I mean, it was on its way up, and that Overlord showed up about 2 seconds later. Just the worst possible luck. He tried to make the best of a bad situation. SoO said, you know what? I'm just going to kill you, if that's fine. And then he did. And then he did. Now, Zerg players, be wary. Be wary. If your timings aren't as good as SoO's, right? You don't know exactly what you're doing there. Maybe don't go for the Roach counterattack, because if you're too slow, There's going to be tanks out and liberators. You're going to have a bad time. SoO knows exactly what to do. He knew how much time he had. He had a timer inside his head. Got the roach roaring down as soon as he could. Got speed for his lings. Stopped making drones at about 18 and then pushed across the map with what he had and won. It's game sense. Game sense is what that's all about. All right, so GuMiho building his barracks inside his main base like a normal person does. SoO went for a hatch first into an extractor into a spawning pool. And he's, again, Overlord scouting. This person, right, this Overlord, you're like, where are you going, Overlord? Well, he's scouting for more proxy stuff is what he's doing. Because it's a two-player map. You know your dude's in the top left-hand corner. You're like, why are you going north? And that's because proxies are a threat. Even now, even after SoO shut it down so hard, there could just be a bit of gamesmanship there from GuMiho where he says, all right, you are probably going to be relaxed. After shutting down my cheese, I will cheese again. This Reaper's name is going to be Mr. Ratface. Description, I honestly don't even know. Okay, Ratface, here we go. If you can get some stuff done against SoO, I will respect you forever and ever. Amen. So here he goes, crossing the map. Mr. Ratface. Perhaps he has a face that looks like a rat. Does that make sense? Seems like a very real possibility. Check to make sure there wasn't a proxy hatch going down or something. That's what that path was all about. There wasn't. SoO's just doing regular stuff, getting speed, getting a couple more queens. Or a couple queens for the first droning up. He's going to go ahead and catch up to GuMiho's worker count in about a second here. And there it is, 21 to 21. Just doing all the things that you need. Will not be surprised to see a third base coming up here from SoO as well under the 3-minute mark. If he doesn't, could be a sign he's planning on being aggressive. So we'll watch that one very, very carefully. Showing up at the natural base, there are, again, 6 lings out from SoO. He doesn't like the 4 lings. He feels better about having 6 lings, which in the grand scheme of things is probably fine. Probably fine. Queens say, Reaper, why don't you fight us, you big jerk? Oh, Mr. Ratface. Mr. Ratface, why? What happened to you? He got queened. Got queened to death. Hellions in production for the GuMiho. Again, he just likes the mech. I think that's part of it. He just does mech and weird mech things too. You don't really see a whole lot of. Even in 319, he was doing mech before mech got a boost. In the 4.0 patches. Although, I just cast a game today. Let's see. Last Monday at this point where somebody went mech against stats. And actually, you know what? It was GuMiho. It was GuMiho versus stats. Try to make it happen. So good for him. Hellions here at the third base location, burning it up. I always found it interesting that Zerg buildings burn. I mean, it just looks so slimy and squishy. It's like trying to burn Jello or something. It doesn't make any sense, right? Or gack, or what else is squishy and slimy? Or like a human heart. Would that burn? I don't think so. Guess who's here, though? All the lings decided to come across the map to this natural base of GuMiho's. He left entirely undefended. Get inside and shut the door. Get inside and shut the door. Yeah, Hellion's out. No, Hellion. No. Okay, good job. Good burning here. How about you? Nope, also getting shot in the face while trying to burn down these dudes. And Hellion, more and more lings. Wow, this is some good ling pressure out of the SoO. Picking off the Hellions. Lings are still alive, mind you. Pulling back a little bit. I don't know exactly what they're pulling back for. Hellion maybe could throw down an auto turret for some temporary defense, but doesn't last very long, and lings can just run away and then come back later. More Hellions out for GuMiho. Another Raven here, too. Remember, this is 319 Ravens, so it has auto turret, it has Seeker Missile. It has those things that are a little bit more explosively damaging compared to the 4.0 Raven, which is a little bit more supporty, a little more of a support unit than just straight-up damage dealing. SoO's third base is done. I think I mentioned that. Did I mention that previously? No, it was just on the way. It was just on the way last time we checked. A lair on the way, Baneling Nest, just now getting started from the Zerg player SoO. Overlord scouts in. It is definitely a Sloverlord, man. It's old school. 0.82 move speed compared to 0.9. Look how slow he is. He feels slow is what he does. So he sees the third base coming up, which means he could probably expand again or make some kind of a crazy 3-base push. Auto turret drops down here at the natural base and almost gets a queen. Almost gets a queen. Doesn't quite get a queen. 7 hit points there on that one. Did you just... What was that just died? Hold your horses. Boop. Another auto turret here inside the main base doing work. Oh, no, that's the first one. And then the one in the natural goes down. And then lings running up here. The wall's not done yet. The Great Wall of Supply Depots is not complete yet. Bummer of a time. Did they get the Raven? Oh, they get the Raven. Okay, so the Raven's dead. Lings here in the natural base doing some work. Still doing some work. Maybe one more. Get the one that's wounded. Oh, can't pull it off. Lings tried. They tried their hardest. Hydralisk Den for SoO too. So he's going a Hydraling Baneling composition against a clearly met composition out of GuMiho. He has so darn many Hellions right now. He's got Vikings too. 7 Hellions. As a matter of fact here, Viking getting rid of the scouting Soul Overlord. Poor Soul Overlord. We hardly knew the... At least you can die over these pine trees in a beautiful location. I mean, does it really matter where you get exploded? I'm going to say setting probably doesn't have a lot of bearing there. Yeah, double armory definitely telling us that GuMiho is going for the mech at the 6-minute mark. Raven flying into the main base again. Just Raven harass. Some Terrans are watching this and saying, oh, I miss the days. I miss the days I could do this. Hellion the run the by into the 3rd base. So they don't have blue flame, but it doesn't matter. Good splits by SoO, actually. Pretty fantastic splits. Roasting up some of these drones, 9 of them, but considering there were 8 or 9 Hellions here, that could have been a lot worse, and they get pinned against the wall and killed. So that was good. 57 to 49 total harvesters. SoO has a lead despite the fact that he has lost 11 drones and only killed 4 SCVs total at this point in the game. So Great Wall of Supply Depots is up. Banelings are a possibility, though. A bit of a Baneling bust could be a play from SoO. We've seen some short games in 1 and 2. I would not be surprised if SoO tries to end this quickly. Again, notice he does not have a 4th base at all. The fact that he doesn't have... Oh, just kidding. He's starting a 4th. He's starting a 4th base right this very second. So perhaps he's not going for a crazy 3-base aggressive all-in. Drop. All the drones come back. Auto turret harass is pretty much what GuMiho is going for here. Lands his 3rd base very nicely. Kind of super exposed, but on this map, all your 3rd bases are super exposed. It's not easy to wall these things off. A Viking killing overlords. GuMiho trying to make sure that SoO doesn't have the information and the intel that he needs by killing his information gathering tools, which are overlords a lot of the time, though he doesn't have overlord speed, which is a problem. Infernal Pre-Igniter being researched by GuMiho is going to have that blue flame on the Hellbats and the Hellions at some point. Just not right now. It's very close, though. It's very close to being done. Missile attack level 1 and ground carapace completing with cervical hooks at the same time for SoO. So he's going to have speed on his Banelings, that +5 health boost on the Banes too. The Hydra's going to be +1/+1. They're going to have the muscular augments upgrade. It's going to be a pretty scary upgraded composition here. You're going to want tanks if you're GuMiho, and he is making tanks. 2 of them at a time, to be exact. A couple more factories coming in. I assume that is going to be for more tank production and barracks floating up north. I thought this was a secret hidden something, but it's not. Just a floating barracks. I'm trying to see if any drops are coming this way. This is what this is for. You can just float there forever, can't ya? Got a little, what? Little nuclear reactor inside? Infinite forever energy. Blue Flame Hellions versus Hydras. Usually the Hellions are going to be okay, but it's closer to a 1-to-1 battle, which is not something they're interested in at all, especially if the Hydras have +1/+1, as these guys happen to do. All right, we're gearing up for an attack here. Got Banelings. Whoop, bringing in 5 Banelings. Not overmaking the Banelings, mind you. Oh, the Hydra is trying to trap these Hellions in, but the Lings do not provide trapping opportunities. Checking to see if they're 3rd base down there. No. No, there absolutely is not. And the Lings all getting... Oh, come on. Ah, turned Windows Update. Okay, hold up. Sorry. Windows Update. The final boss, man. It is the final boss of all video games. 9 more Banelings coming on, and now here we go. Pushing into this tank fire is SoO, which is not great. PDD's up to absorb some of the shots from these Hydras, and they decide to retreat. There's too many tanks. With the +1/+1, hitting very hard, he decides it is time to pull on back. Pull back and go home. That's what he's working on. A 4th base for GuMiho is being constructed here behind all these tanks in a very safe location. And yeah, SoO says, all right, that's too many tanks. I'm not going to suicide into that. Absolutely not here. Infestation Pit on the way. What is this? A Blue Flame Hellion run by at the 4th with Hellbat transition, but Baneling's real good against Hellbats as they're light, and they take that extra damage from the Baneling attack. It's 161 to 132 total supply right now. I'm trying to follow these guys. Come here, let me follow them. No, wrong button. That was a good button, though. It wasn't a bad button. And the resources lost, 2,400 for GuMiho compared to a 40, well, let's call it 5,000 even for SoO. So again, very, very cost efficient out of the Terran player. That's how Terran mech should be played. But holy Swarm Host Batman. That is 16 Swarm Hosts in production for SoO right now. 16! Yeah, Hellions rolling into this 4th base. There are queens to tank for the Hydras, and the Hellions decided it's time to back on out of there. Meanwhile, another Hellion run by here into this 3rd base. Again, queens in production. Banelings are here too. Look out, Hellions! Ah! Yeah, a couple of them die almost immediately there. And creep spread for SoO continues unabated here. He basically has half the map covered up at the 10-minute mark, working on +2/+2 as GuMiho, getting 3 Thors at a time. Holy crikey. Getting some Thors here to absorb those Baneling hits, I have to assume, but good grief, these Swarm Hosts are out. Swarm Hosts are out, and they're out for blood. That sounds like a Rambo movie of some kind. All right, Vikings trying to kill these Overlords. Doing all right with it. Blue Flame Hellions are down, trying to fight these Locusts. They do okay with it. Hellbats are better if you have a, like, just critical mass of them with +3 attack. You can pretty much instantaneously ruin them. Locusts here at the 3rd base of GuMiho as well, trying to kill something. They do get a supply depot. Almost try to get a tank there, but can't quite pull it off. And Hellions, guess what? Moving in here again. Attempting to come into this 4th base, but no. Lings and Banelings and Hydras say, You are not allowed. 4th base has been established by GuMiho. A 4-basing meching Terran is a pretty darn terrifying thing. 3 Vipers on the way from SoO. I mean, at this point, you pretty much have to just accept you're going to lose an army at some point if you're SoO. And then be able to replace it with just a huge bank of money. Because in a straight-up fight, a maxed-out Zerg army versus a maxed-out mech army, the mech army is going to have an advantage, a pretty big one, most of the time. Unless you get some really amazing Locust drops on top of the Thors and the tanks, which seems like a possibility, you're going to have a hard time. You just are. 22 Lings in production here from SoO. Is it going to be enough? The Blue Flamers, now they're at a critical mass. And they have the +2 attack, and all of these Hydras are just going down. Locust saved the day. He managed to clear those out, pushing on in with his Viking fleet with a Raven for support. The tanks are here too. Does he get... Who's focusing on trying to get rid of the Hydralisks while these Locusts take out a Thor and another Thor extremely easily, but guess who's here? The true threat. The true threat are these tanks killing creep tumors down along this left side, setting up in siege mode. This base of SoO's is in a lot of trouble. Huge amount of trouble. Tanks are absolutely firing on top of everything. Drones forced to retreat for their lives. Picking up, what is this? A couple Hellbats. And moving into the main base at the same time. Some reinforcing Hellions trying to roll on in and just getting absolutely massacred in the process. Hellbats at least forcing this queen to run away inside the main. Are there enough tanks? Not really, no. Vikings are trying to shoot down these Locusts, which is interesting, I guess. The Banelings rolling on in. Locusts on top of tanks. Hydras on top of tanks. And SoO manages to shove the beast back. Tanks retreating before things get too hairy for them. The Vikings recognizing we're not exactly in a great position here. I assume they're here to kill Vipers. That's what usually we see mass Viking for, is killing those Vipers, as Vipers with the Blinding Cloud and the Abductor, major problems for making players. But not many of them out, actually. There's only 3 for SoO. He's relying a lot upon these Swarm Hosts. That's usually what the trade-off is. Either you go for Swarm Hosts or you go for Vipers, and in this case, SoO feels like that's where you want it, is Swarm Hosts. As he's making 2 more, working on +3/+3 missile attack, Thor production, and vehicle and ship plating level 3, continuing for GuMiho. It's 194 to 200 total supply. There's that Game Heart upgrade indicator along the right side for that missile attack level 3 and ground carapace level 3. 5th base is done for the GuMiho. As quickly as games 1 and 2 went, game 3 proves to be a little bit of a longer one here. We're already 15 minutes into this thing. Feeling pretty good about that one. And GuMiho's effectively mined out his main base and his natural base. And he just still have 3 bases to work on. SoO's got a 6th base up top. He's been harvesting from for quite some time now. Locusts flying on in. I mean, sure, the Vikings can shoot them down. They just don't have enough DPS to get rid of them that quickly. Tanks getting murdered here. Blue Flame Hellions doing a better job. Or Hellions with the Hellbats doing a better job cleaning those guys up. It does show us Locust lost, right? It does not. I thought it did. Thought for sure that it did, but no. Nope, it does not. SCV running around repairing these flying units has 6 hit points, but is bravely repairing everything it sees and building missile turrets too. You are a brave SCV. You are the hero of this game, no matter who wins it. I'm going to say it's you. It's on you. If you die, I'll be very sad. We'll keep an eye on you. How's that sound? For just a little bit. Blue Flame Hellbats cleaning up creep tumors. SoO not really choosing to engage right here, though. Thor getting some shots off. Bailings on top of the Thor. Nice save. Oh, but more Bailings and Locust rolling in from the right side and the top side. And Parasitic Bomb being tossed down. Immediate landing of the Vikings. So much stuff died there. There are still a bunch of tanks on the high ground from GuMiho, which means that SoO couldn't quite wipe that entire group out here. Oh, the Viking flock is still alive. But the Hydralisks say no. You know what? You're not going to get close enough to kill my overlords. I can't get close enough to kill you because of the tanks, but that seems like a pretty fair exchange. Fully upgraded tanks, man. Fully upgraded tanks versus Hydras with full upgrades. Nah. A little bit worried about pushing on and further here. The Swarm Host, another huge swarm of locusts dropping down. Liberator shut down here. 2 Hydras and Banelings rolling up this ramp. It's a bit of a choke here for SoO. I don't know if he wants to come up here. Does he or not? Trying to get rid of the Liberator. Liberator ends up getting killed. Medevac is gone to single tank remaining. 14 kills on this guy. And he does push back the advancing horde. 194 to 164 total supply. SoO is winning these engagements. He's not crushing them, but he's winning them. 17,000 resources lost for GuMiho compared to 19,000 for SoO, narrowing that gap quite nicely and quite expertly with his stuff. GuMiho trying to take a 5th base. 5th base down south, but there's a single Ling, not even burrowed, actually holding that off. SoO takes this high ground, murdering everything with the Banelings and the Swarm Host and the Hydra. Locusts flying over the defender mode circles of doom, trying to kill what? They want to get these Thors just right on top of those Thors. Thor 1 down. Thor 2, is it going to go down? The Locusts are trying to murder them real fast, and no, does end up saving it with the Hellions. And that Blue Flame upgrade here. So just the Zerg side of the map is looking pretty healthy out of SoO. He hasn't lost a single base yet, which is a good sign. If you're trying to win a game like this, Corruptor's in production for SoO. Zergland looking okay, honestly. I guess a single Liberator up here at this 6th base does get cleaned up by some Corruptors. Bit of an attack. Doesn't do a whole lot as SoO continues pushing down this left side. He wants to kill this base. That's what he wants to do, but the whole army coming back to protect it. SoO recognizes he's been scanned, decides not to move in here, goes for a 7th base instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Counting has been good recently. I feel like my counting's been all right. Liberator says, get out of here. Get out of here, stuff. And the Locusts pop on absolutely nothing. There's nothing for them to kill here. I guess, oh, free Hellions maybe. Does force them to drop on top of the Hellions, which is, I guess, better than on top of the tanks here. Oh, can they get that? Gross! Friendly fire, more than anything else, kill that sensor tower. Getting rebuilt immediately here by GuMiho. APM for GuMiho is 340 on average. SoO sitting at 401. Exactly on average through the game thus far. Another Spire on production for SoO, getting more Liberators. Getting actually weapon refit. Is he going Battle Cruiser here? GuMiho maybe going Sky Terran in response to these Locusts. In response to these Swarm Hosts. Recognizing, okay, they're a big threat to things on the ground that are mechy, but not such a threat to air units, I believe, is the colloquial way of saying that. Ship weapons level 3. Just about done here for GuMiho too, doing fairly well with that. Another Liberator up here at the 6th base. Once again, Corruptor Cloud, pretty big. Enough to clear those suckers out. Blue Flame Hellions say Banelings no. Ooh, sacrificing a couple there for the greater good. Locust swarming on into this 5th base. Planetary Fortress, can it be saved? Yeah, no, the Locusts do end up getting it. The upgrades are really good. Massive pickup there for GuMiho, or for SoO rather. Not good news for GuMiho. He's got a 6th base that is harvesting, so that's good news. Could have been worse if he didn't have that one. Hellion run by attempting up here at the 6th base. Hellbat Transformation says, spine crawlers are no match for us, but Hydras are. Hydras are really good. Actually, 7th base of SoO's goes down to a combined attack of tanks and Thors and Liberators. There's really nobody there to defend that, actually. So GuMiho says, fair about. Turnabout is fair play. You killed my base, I will kill yours. And it's 70 to 66 total harvesters. GuMiho has a nice worker count, 192 to 199 total supply. We are effectively both maxed out. And 32 banelings are in production. For SoO, just thought you'd want to know that. Thought you'd want to be aware of it here. Liberators versus Locust, pretty good actually. Splash damage, right? Against Light. And the Locust, like 2 or 3 of them managed to land and instantly die. All right, I like a mass Liberator play against these Locusts. Seems fine. Not actually making any BCs because GuMiho doesn't like... Oh, I maligned him incorrectly. There is a battle cruiser on the ground. Well, flying anyway. There is a battle cruiser flying about. It's on the left side. I don't know exactly what he's trying to do. Another push of SoO with Hydras and Banelings. Oh my. Trying to pin these guys in. I think they're all going to die here. The tanks maybe can save them. Oh, 2 Hellions do end up living. There was something flying around here, but the Corruptors killed it. I was watching it on the minimap, and then it disappeared, and that's because there were Corruptors all over. Battle Cruiser single-handedly taking down a replacement base up top for the SoO. This is going to be his 8th base. Battle Cruiser can actually bring down... Yeah, can actually force a cancel on a base by itself unless the Corruptors show up. Get out of there. Tactical jump! Battle Cruiser, no! Oh! Oh, 46 hit points got out. That was amazing. That was a fantastic use. Whew. +2 flyer Carapace, +3 flyer attack, and 2 more bases in production for SoO. Actually, no. Where did they might just have popped? Might just have popped. So still has Locusts. Does SoO. Corruptors flying on in, trying to get rid of these Liberators, abducting them into the Corruptor Ball too. Meanwhile, Banelings and Hydras trying to roll up that ramp, but there are just too many units. Just too many tanks and too many Thors to allow that one to happen. So Liberator squad is hurt a little bit here. Hellbats do manage to take down this 8th base up top of SoO. So he lost it. His 7th base is back, though. 7th base is back. So that's good. 6th base happily mining here as well. Resources lost 26,000 for GuMiho compared to 29,000 for the SoO. 3 battle cruisers at a time. On the way from GuMiho. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. Is he going to win this game with BCs at the WCS Global Finals? Locust raining down upon all of this mech stuff on this high ground. They kill a couple tanks, but in turn get murdered themselves. Hellion run by just runs into the entire army of SoO. That was bad. That was bad news. Don't do that. Don't be doing that at all. GuMiho, I don't know, man. I don't know about this battle cruiser strategy. I really don't. SoO trying to roll in and get rid of this. We decided this was the 5th base, right? We did. There are Blue Flame Hellions here. There are tanks. There are Liberators. The Banelings say if we all crash upon the thing at the same time. Oh, they want to get the SCVs though. That is some pretty big hits. No! There's enough armor on them. They can survive 1 hit, which is good. But yeah, absolutely. The Hydras finished off that 5th base before getting shoved back to the whence they came. Locusts flying on top of these missile turrets. I mean, at least splash damage is probably going to kill a couple of them, if nothing else. Yeah, all but 1 of the missile turrets ends up going down here. Greater Spire in production from SoO. Perhaps he wants to go Broodlord. The first 2 games were sub 10 minutes, you guys. And then all of a sudden, we get this. Insanity. Battle cruisers augmenting this tank Viking Liberator army with some Hellbats on the ground. This feels like a killing push for GuMiho. Can he pull it off? Is going to be the question of the day. The Hydras with more Banelings in production. Banelings are getting some decent hits there. Parasitic Bomb. Corruptors flying in from the left side here too. Battle cruisers are going to finish off this 7th base, but the Locusts say goodbye to the Thors. Well, all but 1 of the Thors anyway. I think this Thor might actually end up surviving here, but look at these battle cruisers go. 24 mutas in production for SoO, though. That seems like optimal anti-air, if you ask me. Blue Flame Hellions trying to finish off yet another base of SoO's with some tank support. This is doing a pretty big hit, but no, the Corruptors on top of the battle cruisers. No, 27 drones have been killed, but it's 176 to 114 total supply, making more Hellions as GuMiho is trying to bring additional battle cruisers across the map to try to do this thing. But the Corruptor Ball says, wait, did I just see battle cruisers? We don't care what's on the ground here. We're going to go ahead and get rid of them. Yamato cannons on top of the Corruptors, but too many. And the mutas chasing it down here as well. This might be the final stand of GuMiho. He tried to make it happen. Tried to make it happen there, but in the end, too many mutas, too many corruptors. 75 to 136. Total supply. He's making Thors. He's making Widowmines. He's making Hellions, but he is more than doubled in total supply. And he's just losing bases. He's losing bases to Mutalisks. He's losing them to Corruptors. I mean, the Corruptors aren't actually killing bases yet, but they could. But they could. I don't... GuMiho, why have you... There it is. There's the good game. Out of GuMiho. GuMiho's defeated. SoO's victorious. Takes a 2-1 lead in this best of 5 series. What a ridiculous game. Oh, that was so fun. So fun. 46,000 resources lost by GuMiho compared to 45 for SoO. So incredibly even, actually. 80 drones were killed, but 43 SCVs. Somehow SoO ended up with more workers in the end. I guess he just kept making them drones. Kept making them drones. 9 Thors, 7 battle cruisers died, 20 tanks. That's a lot. 86 Hydras, 11 Swarm Hosts, 137 Banelings, 189 Lings. 6 hatcheries died. It is hard to kill 6 hatcheries and lose. It just is. But man, SoO, he's just that good. That tech switch into the Mutacorruptor. He saw the battle cruisers and said, oh, you invested a lot into that, haven't you? And then just put the hammer down. All right, GuMiho, got one more game. It's win or go home here in game number 4. Will you win or will you go home? Let's find out in just a second. Welcome back to game number 4 of this best of 5 between SoO and GuMiho here on Interloper, the ladder edition. Whew, that game 3 was a barn burner. In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we've got the red Terran player. His name is GuMiho. And in the top left-hand corner of the map, it's going to be the blue Zerg player, SoO. All right, so this is Interloper. We've seen short games. We've seen long games. We've seen GuMiho win, and we've seen SoO win thus far. Again, GuMiho's win or go home. And you're probably looking at this and saying, there's probably enough time for 2 games left in this video. But little do you know, I will put spoiler stuff at the end of a best of 5 that only goes 4 games, so you don't know. You can't tell by looking at the length of the video, huh? So GuMiho could absolutely lose here. He could win. He could move on. You don't know. You don't know. I love that uncertainty. Uncertainty is my favorite thing. I actually saw The Last Jedi last week on Sunday, a full 3 or 4 days after it released in the United States. I worked my darndest to avoid spoilers. I didn't watch any trailers, and it was a wonderful, enjoyable experience to me. I hate it when I watch a movie and I see a scene and say, oh, I've seen this. This isn't new. It makes me feel bad and gross inside, so I made a decision. I don't watch trailers for stuff I know I'm going to watch. If there's something I'm on the fence about or something I've never heard anything about, I'll watch the trailer at that point, but otherwise, no. Otherwise, no. Also, there's a podcast if you want to listen to me talk about Star Wars more, which maybe you do. There's a link in the description to the Falcon Paladin Hour I do with my Australian friend Wade every single week. Usually posts on the Tuesdays. So last Tuesday it probably posted. Got another one coming up soon as well. But yeah, Star Wars Extravaganza episode is, I believe, what we're going to call it. Or maybe not. Wade kind of decides those things on his own. All right, Reaper's name is Don't Worry. Because every little thing, every little ling, it's gonna be all right. I regret nothing, says the submitter. Jokes. All right, this is Don't Worry, the Reaper. Every little ling is gonna be all right. We'll see if that's a prediction. Will he get 0 kills? 0 ling kills. Entirely possible. Oh, these lings, though. These lings are mean. They do actually force a pause on the construction of that command center. The micro by GuMiho is insane. They do kill the lings. Reaper didn't do it, though. Reaper did not do it. So still 0. Still a 0 on that name. And GuMiho's natural will come up with a little bit of a delay, but that's all right. Queen's already out here. Just hop up in the main, dude. Just do it. You could be brave. You could be brave like the Reapers before you, like Keanu Reeves. Oh, Keanu Reeves. We will never forget you. Yeah, he just scouted in, saw if there was a second gas yet. There wasn't. Said that's enough. Decided to retreat. Because if he's alive, you can actually put a bit of a delay on this third base, at least until Lynx have speed before that third base can go down. Unless you want to slow walk the Queens down to that third base, or unless you want to kill the Reaper first just for sitting there like a dope. But no, this guy did not want to do that. Yeah, checking to see is there a third. Thank goodness there's not. I believe I can possibly... Oh, look at this block by the Queen, though. The Reaper comes around this way to block it. It's going to get killed. SoO. Oh, such game sense. Just absolutely knowing where you need to place your stuff to keep bad things from happening to you. All right, so Reaper comes on in. Don't worry, says, ah, got it down very sneakily. Super sneakily. Have you noticed that the attacks on the Reaper don't happen simultaneously? They go, pa-pa, 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 pa-pa. That left one goes first, just a little bit first. Just a little bit first is all it does. All right, so additional queens on the way. Got a Roach Warren, does SoO, making a Raven back home. Is the GuMiho, and going for a third command center here. Geez, that's early. It's an early third command center with Hellions to defend and a bit of a wall and a Reaper to assist with that as well. Overlord tries to scout in, but there's a Marine. Single Marine made by GuMiho at the start of the game to protect his natural base and to shoo away scouting Overlords. He's been scouted a lot previously, so he says, I'm going to make a single Marine this time just to adjust to that. And the Overlords will not be able to scout my stuff. I mean, I'm sure the Overlord saw all he wanted to see. Yeah, he saw that. Actually, interestingly enough, he saw that barracks. Another barracks. Maybe this is going to be a pure mech play out of GuMiho in this one. Speedling's trying to make something happen here, but single Marine not necessarily enough to defend it. Trying his best, though. Pa, 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 pa. SCV, gamely, taking care of this. We do see bunkers coming up. He knows there's attack on the way because he sees these roaches from SoO. 5 more roaches. SoO's tried this, man. He was successful with it before as well. The Raven with auto turret can be exceptionally useful. Bunkers need to go down. This command center needs to be upgraded to an orbital command. That's not really useful, but okay. And the Hellion's going to sit from behind and try to defend here. It is so many Ravagers. 2 Ravagers. 5 roaches on the ground. Can he hold? Corrosive Biles going down on that bunker. There's not actually anything in the bunker. It's a bit of a decoy. Corrosive Biles down on the supply depots. GuMiho is fighting for his StarCraft life right now. Another supply depot goes down. GuMiho is supply blocked, but he just called down additional supply as we saw there. Corrosive Biles trying to kill this orbital command. I don't even know what he has. What do you have, GuMiho? You have 2 bunkers full of Marines. Yeah, here he comes. Lings on top of everything. Ravagers doing Corrosive Biles on top of stuff. Auto turret from the backside. Trying to kill some stuff. Immediately dies, though. Bunker 1 is down. Bunker 2 is close to down. The tank trying to splash here as well. Almost takes down that bunker, but does manage to save it. Just barely. Tank has 6 kills. Has been integral to this base defense for the GuMiho. I don't know about you, man, but if I was GuMiho, I'd be absolutely terrified. But he keeps his cool. Keeps his cool. SoO coming in here again. Lings on top of everything. Corrosive Biles do kill the tank and the medevac. Can GuMiho hold on the bunker? The bunker's trying to hold it. The repairs are insane right now. But too much DPS. Look at the micro, moving the SCVs away so that they don't get hit by the Corrosive Bile. The auto turret's tossed down, and somehow SoO's retreating from this. I don't understand how that happened. But somehow there's 2 roaches left and a single Ravager. More Lings joining the party. There's a new tank out for GuMiho, and not a second too soon. Lings and Corrosive Bile take care of it almost instantly. This bunker of absolute destiny. Is it gonna die? It does end up dying. Oh no, it ends up dying here. The Marines on the high ground. The Lings. Is that going to be it for GuMiho? Is it just too much damage being done? The Raven has 3 kills. Not enough energy for an auto turret. SCV's meat shielding for the Marines. The roaches are starting to fall here. Medevac is out for healing. SoO, what? He's actually pulling back. He's actually pulling back. But it is 58 to 25 total harvesters. SoO has a double worker count lead on his opponent right now, which is nigh impossible to come back from unless you're a Terran. Terrans have the best bet out of any 3 of those races to pull that off. It's just Marine and Tank and Medevac. Medevac very low on energy right now. Raven patrolling a very tiny area. GuMiho's APM has just got to be, yeah, it's 450 right now. Average of 426 for SoO. These are just some of the best players on Earth. Some of the best players on Earth. All right, so GuMiho says, I'm not dead, so it could have gone worse. Absolutely could have been a worse situation for me, but I know SoO is droning on the back. It's 64 to 31 total workers. Macro hatch on the way from SoO, having a hard time spending his money. This Raven trying to win the game single-handedly. If I auto-turret well enough. Maybe I can kill all of SoO's drones. I am getting stabbed at by a queen, which is bad. But I can get a couple drone kills, maybe. No, Lings, no. Another drop here. Trying to make stuff happen. The natural base. Ravager's ready for it. Queen ready for it as well. And these medevacs decide to go away. Another push here from GuMiho. Auto turret killing more Zerglings. 4 drones getting killed. Dropping here at this natural base. Trying to hold position. Now, mind you, these guys do have stim and +1 attack. So they're not regular Marines. A couple of them getting killed by the Ravagers there. Another push of Marines at this 3rd base location. Queen goes down. Tanks exploding on top of them as well. Queen's getting chased away by these tanks. What is GuMiho doing? Is he going to get the 3rd base? There's no way. There is absolutely no way. Ravagers and Lings trying. No, they can't save it. They were too late to save the 3rd base location. Corrosive Vials going down. Oh, killing a tank. Everything going to die here from GuMiho with the exception of what can boost away. Inside these medevacs, GuMiho standing strong with his Marines, with his +1 attack, with his tanks. Corrosive Vials on top of absolutely nothing right there. What is happening? Resources lost, 7,000 for SoO compared to 5,900 for GuMiho. He's actually lost less. It is now 44 to 58 Harvesters. He was SCV pumping back home as well. He's got a 3rd orbital command he could land somewhere. GuMiho is scrapping and clawing his little Terran heart out, trying to make this thing work. 3rd base is being replaced by SoO. Would not be shocked to see him go for a 4th base. Hydralisk Den working on glial reconstitution for his roaches. These little Marines that could just 3rd base. Hey, guess what? You have a 3rd base? Nah, you don't. Forcing a cancel and then picking up and boosting into the main base. GuMiho is showing such heart and such grit in this game. Overseer down. Other Overseer down. I don't know that was necessarily a priority target. More drones getting massacred here. Just focusing down drones, basically. 12 drones killed in almost an instant. Marines checking to see, is there going to be a 4th base down here? Not anymore. As that drone has been killed, it's 45 to 54 total Harvesters. SoO's trying to get his 3rd base replaced. 3rd base by GuMiho is just about to land here. We're suddenly back at a 3 base to 2 base Terran advantage, which, I mean, I did not see coming. That bunker hold by GuMiho was... I don't even have words for it. I don't. I think I've used them all. I think I've used all the words that I can. +2 attack being researched by GuMiho. Working on muscular augments, working on centrifugal hooks is SoO. 48 to 55 total Harvesters. That 3rd base cannot come back too soon for SoO. Haha, too soon for SoO. GuMiho just making stuff happen with his Marines. He's actually killing this rock tower, which seems pretty good. All right, losing a couple Marines in the process, but now can't go for a 4th base until he takes down these rocks. Liberator trying to do stuff, but SoO very smartly left Hydra is back at this base. Natural base to make it happen. How do these guys sneak in here? Marines showing up, just killing more of these drones. 7 drones killed in a heartbeat. Trying to drop down here into the natural base and do more work. Is the GuMiho. This is going to get cleaned up. There's just, the entire army is on top of this one. But it's 53 to 50 Harvesters, you guys. GuMiho has the lead. How does he have the lead? Remember what I said? The one race that can come back from this because of mules is going to be Terran. It's going to be Terran. 4th base for SoO down into the left of his 3rd there. It's going to be Roach Hydra Ravager from SoO. I think he might be a little frustrated here. He says, all right, I was centimeters from killing GuMiho in the opening minutes of this game, and somehow, some way, he came back. He is displeased. Another drop at the 3rd base, killing even more drones. 34 drones have been killed compared to 25 SCVs, and after the SCV massacre in the first couple minutes of this game, I am shocked GuMiho has killed more than SoO has. All right, GuMiho says, time to go. Time to go. Got Marines, got Marauders, got medevacs, got tanks. It's time to head on up and put some pressure on that 3rd base location from the north. Comes the Zerg army. Corrosive Vials almost taking down a medevac there. Pushing. Got 3rd base. 4th base, rather, is under direct fire here. I don't know. Can he save it? Absolutely not. Too much damage. Again, too late on it. Too late on it. Banelings exploding on everything. Liberators trying to kill what they can. Hydras Trying to kill with it too. The Liberator setting up more defender mode circles. The tanks, the Marines pushing on forward. And that's a good game out of SoO. SoO is defeated and GuMiho is your victor. What? What was that? Oh. It was what? 21 harvesters to 65 at some point. Okay, GuMiho, I think he's one of the best Terrans on Earth. I cannot think of many Terrans who could do what they did, or do what GuMiho just did right there. I can't. It's like Innovation, it's TY, it's Byun, it's Polt, right? But it's GuMiho as well now. I mean, that was one of the greatest games I have ever seen. This is getting an epic tag for the whole series. It's just been a really, really great series. All right. Resources Lost Ups is up on the map if you want to see it. But Game 5, the rubber match, the deciding match, the final to end all finals. Coming at you very soon, and in fact, in just a second. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, to this best of 5 between GuMiho and SoO. It's going to be on Acolyte, the ladder edition. And I don't know if I have the energy to cast this game. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, it's going to be the red Terran player GuMiho, who is tied up 2-2 against his elite Zerg opponent in the top right, SoO. The scraping and the scratching and the clawing that GuMiho did in that last game was just, I don't know how else to describe it. That's what it was. It was the scratching and the clawing that you do when your back's against the wall, when there's nowhere else to go. I just haven't seen it personified in a game quite like that before. Oh, all right, so SoO's going hatch first here on Acolyte, whereas GuMiho is doing the very standard thing of putting a barracks inside his main base. It's a pretty long map. It's hard to get proxies off, especially against Zerg, especially against somebody like SoO, who is scouting the locations that are likely to be proxied on this map. I mean, that's what he does. That's exactly how this works here. So GuMiho not even trying, waiting for that barracks to finish. And I'm out of words. Okay, words are back. Reaper on the way. Reaper's name is Archimond. What do you mean? Deathrock accidentally got transported into a Reaper name. Alex says, I know how it sounds, Mr. Archimond, but you gotta believe me, it wasn't me, sir. Archimond responds, do you really think I am stupid enough to believe that both Dreadlords I sent to collect your soul were accidentally turned into Reaper names, and you had nothing to do with it? Alex, pew pew! No, I just needed you to hold still for a second. And a smile. Dang, Alex just blazer blasted Archimond. That seems difficult. But, imagination. All right, so this is Archimond, the Reaper, I think. I've already done the other ones thus far. Archimond, the Reaper, who just got assassinated by Alex somehow and then put into a Reaper. I think that's how that happened. Heading on up. Gonna try to do some things. Any of the Reapers that GuMiho's made in this series so far killed anything? I think he's killed a Ling with them. Oh, man, don't even. Wow. SoO's positioning is just godlike. He knew where that Reaper was going to go. And he was ready with the exact number of Lings he needed to surround it and that exact location. I'm like, if it wasn't somebody else, I would say hacks, map hacks, but it's just SoO. You don't get this far by map hacking, is how it works. And they're absolutely watching for map hacking in the WCS Global Finals. So it's not what it is. He's just that good. He is just that good. Whew. Overlord speed being researched by SoO here. Going to have some Overlords in for scouting momentarily, as that timed out very well. Hellion production has begun for SoO, as is tradition for him. And some Widow Mines. This is some of the first Widow Mines we've seen in the game. Game number 3 had a couple towards the end, but I don't think they actually did anything. I think he just made them because he didn't know what else to do. Whereas this is very intentional. Widow Mines with a medevac on the way. Going to be Widow Mine drops with some Hellion pressure at the front. With Jonas the Jellyfish observing too. Hellion's just doing the run by, man. They don't care there's queens. They don't care there's Zerglings here. Oh, picked off. Thrown into the air and exploded. Oh, and Archimond. Archimond died too. All right, so 2 drones killed for 2 Hellions and a Reaper. Probably not the best exchange. 300 resources total loss for GuMiho compared to 118 for SoO because he had to cancel that Spore Crawler he was building. All right, so Speed Overlord's running around just basically scouting everything because GuMiho's not making anything that can shoot up yet. He's getting a Raven, which does have auto turret, but not really super useful. A couple Spore Crawlers coming up here too. He knows the Raven's on the way. Maybe he thinks it's a Banshee, which would explain the Spore Crawlers. Spore's better against Banshees than Ravens, right? Third base coming up for SoO in his safe location here on Acolyte. Remember these safe locations? Oh, these Widow Mines. Widow Mine drop, trying to make something happen here, but scouted by Overlord positioning, and might try to make this thing happen, but Spore Crawler hit, and there's the drop. There's the surround. Widow Mine dies. Other Widow Mine does end up getting killed there too. And drop absolutely 100% textbook shut down. Can the Spore Crawler kill the medevac? No. Puts it into the reds though. Does have 22 hit points remaining. How many more shots here? 15 damage per acid spa. Is that what that's called? Acid spew. Acid spew. Overlord's just happily scouting everything that's going on. We're just going to fly on in here, and there's no Marines to shoo us away, and there's no Ravens either, so I guess we'll just come on in and see what's happening. See what is happening here to GuMiho. Oh, yeah, we're just setting up for a 3-base play here. I mean, essentially, the Terran and Protoss on this map, if you remember, just had a safe way to go 3-base, no problem. Some map third bases are really hard to take. Not this one. Not this particular one. Auto turret trying to do stuff at this third base. Does get killed. Interestingly enough, SoO is not content to just let it expire. He wanted to distract it with some link attacks and kill it. Like, pretty much as it would have expired anyway. I guess he wanted to keep that Spore Crawler alive. More spores. More spores. There we go. Here at this third base location, getting a Hydralisk Den. I think SoO's gotten Hydra Den in almost every game so far. Well, the long ones. The longer ones, anyway. 3 of them. 3 of the 5. So, Cyclone drop. Coming from the GuMiho. Got Raven support here as well. Probably going to try to clear out some creep tumors with these guys, if I had to guess what the plan is. Making additional factories is GuMiho. Making Hydras. Banes getting +1 ground carapace. Getting +1 missile attack. And muscular augments. Is SoO back home. Trying to find somewhere to drop, but it's just SoO's got his head on a swivel here. He sees everything that is going on. And yes, he's going to lose some creep tumors, which is unfortunate. Not really the worst thing in the grand scheme of things. Killing this Overlord is possibly possible, but the Queens are here. Get out of there. Get out of there. The Queen's actually getting shot at very nicely with some Hellion support. Hellbat support here too from GuMiho. Going to protect the Cyclones. Yeah, these Lings don't want anything to do with that. Banelings taking out 2 Hellbats very quickly though. Slow Banelings, man. Don't underestimate them, especially against something as slow and waddly as Hellbats. Got those. I mean, it's actually kind of a cool design. You ever looked at it before? When they attack, they kind of put those little shields up and then shoot between it. Another auto turret here in the third base, cleaned up once again, and GuMiho decides that it's time to go on home. Surprised there's not a great wall of supply depots here yet, but I suppose he does kind of have map control, which is fine. 68 to 67. Total harvesters for the GuMihos. And Speed Overlord getting shoot away from his hiding space by that Marine and a Viking too. There's that 4th base. I was going to say, SoO doesn't go for a 4th base soon. I'm kind of worried about him. But yeah, he's going for a 4th base. Jonas the Jellyfish and the Jonas Brothers on this map. I kind of missed the glowy jellyfish. All right, can you get it? He pokes at the 4th base, brings the army up this way, and then didn't do anything with it. I thought for sure he'd have a drop ready to go. Or yeah, SoO was ready. He had Hydras at this 3rd. He said, all right, that poke was a distraction. Must defend 3rd, but nothing actually came. Bit of a boy who cried wolf situation here, I'd have to say. +1 melee attack on the way from SoO, and actually getting Swarm Host. 7 Swarm Host in production for this guy. Going for him again. I mean, it's not exactly a get-rich-quick type scheme, right? I mean, it's not as though you're going to win fast. but it's kind of a decent long-term type strategy here. Patrolling for maybe drops, maybe some Overlord drop type action here. SoO doing a nice Overlord spread along this right side. Single Overseer trying to see what's going on. So fast, though. 472 move speed is just zippy. Sees this fourth base that GuMiho started building to the right and just north of his main. I guess that's technically to the right of his main, and both players just kind of happy to chill. SoO is going to be maxed out here in about minute and a half at the latest. GuMiho sitting on 175 supply, so he's no slouch either. This poor Overseer just gets massacred. Down that left side, Lings, Hydras, Banelings, ready to rock. And by that, I mean they're going home. All right, so SoO's fifth base is well defended here. Got a bunch of swarm hosts just pulsating. Boom, 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 boom. Wah, 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 wah. Just gross. Zerg is gross. I main Zerg, so I can say that. I think is how that works. Hive on the way from SoO. Working on +2 missile attack. Working on that Baneling speed and +5 health upgrade. Centrifugal hooks. Tank production here from GuMiho 2. Gonna try to make a big scary mech push actually. This is not bad. This is not a bad scary mech push at all. Liberators try to kill that Overseer, getting murdered by Hydras instead. Overseer lives very nicely. Not worried about it at all. Pushing around this left side, trying to come up and kill some of these creep tumors. Possibly trying to threaten this fourth base location. But guess who's here? A million locusts. A million locusts. Goodbye, Sir Cyclone. Unless you can run really fast. You do have wheels, so that's good. Oh, but another wave. Yeah, just getting right on top of everything. Blue Flame killing them before they kill much. They do get a single tank there, which is not bad. Not bad at all. And pushing up to this fourth base location. The Banelings need to finish now. They're working on it. They are working on finishing now. Absolutely. Banelings gonna pop, gonna go for it here, and they do! Big time explosions on all of the things, but the tanks survive. Couple Hellbats actually surviving too, but guess who's down at the third base? No, SoO says, you don't get a third base. You can kill my fourth base, but I'm gonna kill your third base. Seems like a fair exchange. I mean, I don't know that GuMiho agreed to it, but that's what happened. So fourth base down. Auto turrets killing some creep tumors here. And creep tumor. Oh no, the Raven left. Can't see him. Can't see him anymore. And GuMiho says, that's a job well done. It's a job well done, chaps. Fourth base dead. Lost my third base in the process. SoO unfortunately does have a fifth base, but is trying to get blue flamed to death by some Hellions. You ever notice the size of the flamethrowers coming out of these things is a little bit disproportionately large? It's a little big. As Banelings crush them into little tiny pieces. Yeah. Yeah, Hydra's catching the tank army out in the open. Oh no, tank army, don't do that. Don't get cut. All right, I guess you're going to stop running. That's bad. Okay, Hydra's dealing with them very easily. Yeah, it's only a few tanks. Oh, medevac drop trying to do stuff. Hydra's again. It warms my Zerg heart to see Hydras so viable in so many situations in StarCraft 2. For so long, they were just useless. Useless, unless your opponent went like straight Void Ray or something stupid, in which case Hydras were great. But against anything else, it was just like, nope. So they buffed the damage done, buffed the range, gave it an HP buff here too to 90 total hit points, and now they're here. And I'm sure a lot of people hate it, but man, for years and years and years, Hydras were utterly worthless, just not useful at all. Locusts flying on down to these Thors. Blue Flame Hellions trying to save him. One Thor does end up going down. So many explosions, though. There's a lot of explosions. And Hydras decide to retreat around the back way, saying, we saw what happened to those Locusts. We are not interested in meeting a same or a similar fate. SoO's fourth base is being replaced, as any good player will do. Base dies, replace. Immediately. Base dies, replace. I'm sure they have a drill for that. It's going to be Hellions versus Hydras here. A lot of Hellions roasting down Hydras, but vice versa as well. I mean, I don't know that roasting up is exactly the correct term for that. But whatever. 191 to 197 total supply. This series is bananas. It is absolutely, positively bonkers. Locusts. Sneak attack. Oh, this sneak attack is sneaky. Gonna drop down on top of these dudes. Didn't do a whole lot, actually. The Blue Flame. Blue Flame, man. If you're having trouble with the Locusts, Infernal Pre-Igniter. That's got a word for you, my friend. Viking trying to kill stuff. Liberator shutting down here, too. Might actually end up losing this fifth base as SoO. Where the heck is the army? There's a big Hydra army going after this fourth base. Planetary Fortress. Can they get it is the question. I don't know. I don't actually know. Vikings trying to kill everything in the air, which means Viper's going to have a really hard time here. Banelings do pop in here. Banelings need to get some serious hits on these Hellbats. And then the Locust can finish these dudes off. Is the concept here. And here it is, rolling in from the north. The Banelings exploding on top of the Hellbats. Getting right into these tanks as well. And then the Locust just going to town with what remains. And GuMiho is forced to retreat there with everything that he's got. GuMiho does keep on his 4th. Planetary Fortress, good upgrade. Great upgrade. Liberator's trying to show up here at SoO's 4th base. And you know what? Might work. Except there's Hydras chasing him, so perhaps not. Oh, Hydras, you want to come and queue into that? No. Want to queue into that zone of death? They absolutely do not, turns out. But thank you for the offer, Mr. SoO, or Mr. GuMiho. Or rather. All right. Liberators, you have a limited time to make this thing happen. Ready? Go. Okay, so far so good. All right. Excellent. Does give himself the lead in the worker count by killing 8 drones there at 67 and 60 total harvesters. But then the Hydras come down from the right side and everybody dies. All right. Time to go back to work here. Swarm hosts swinging down this left section of the map. Going to go ahead and pop up some Locusts and drop them down on some army you did not know was there previously. All right. I mean, it's free units traded for actual units. It's just kind of their thing. GuMiho is actually managing to get a 5th base down. 5th base being replaced by SoO. I mentioned something about this previously. Vipers using that consume ability. That's the sound they make. It's disgusting. It really is. Again, Zerg is gross. Zerg is just gross. They are bugs. They're Starship Trooper bugs. Ender's Game bugs. Closer to Starship Trooper bugs or Ender's Game bugs? I'd say based on the sentience involved, probably Ender's Game bugs. Probably what it is. Ender's Game is so good. Such a great book. Should read it again. Read it a few times already. All right, base in the top left by SoO. Trying to get a 6th base up, but instantly going to die. There's really no saving that one at all. Hydra's trying to come down this right side and get rid of this 5th base. They're doing all right with it, as it turns out. Everybody run. Get out of there. Oh, this orbital command is going to live. I don't think it is. The Hydras are focusing it down. Well, kind of focusing it down. Are they going to let it survive with these poor... This SCV massacre. Cover your eyes, children. Shield your eyes from the carnage. And orbital command dies anyway. That was a super effective Hydra push from SoO. He's basically sacrificed a base to kill a base and 24 SCVs. It's 71 to 43 total harvesters. SoO has the lead, but we've seen SoO have the lead before. We've seen it happen. And we've seen what GuMiho's done to take advantage of it. +3 ground carapace, +3 melee attack. Is he going to go ultras on us? Ultraless cavern, I don't see one. No, SoO does not have an ultra cavern. It's just weird he's getting these upgrades. I guess for the Lings and the Banelings. Why not? I suppose Locusts are so dang slow. But when they land, they do pretty good damage. Maybe they got a Hellbat there. Hydra's just, this little Hydra hit squad, really good at StarCraft. Look at them go. They're just marching into the natural base like they own the joint. Killing a couple of slide depots. Killing an engineering bay. They only have +2 armor, but they do have +3 attack, which is really all that matters here. Refinery done, and then they escape. No, they... Okay, now, careful. Don't overextend, you guys. Yeah, they're going out. Run! We're being chased by Blue Flame Hellions. Stand and make a stand. Okay, we're dead. But the Locusts, no, not quite ready to pop. Almost ready to pop. The timing for SoO is really good here. There it is. Locusts upon the 4th base. Can they out DPS the repair being done by these SCVs? The answer is no. Repair is really great. Might kill some SCVs in the process, but Planetary Fortress lives. It's 23 to 69 harvesters, though. It is just not ideal. Not super ideal for GuMiho. He's making a push out. He's making a strong push to make something happen here. He knows that the Swarm hosts are on cooldown for a while. He's got a bit of a window here. But then the Hydras and the Banelings say, you leave our Swarm hosts alone. They are our friends. They are part of the Swarm and part of the collective. So leave them alone. All right, Locusts. Boop. Popping up, trying to... Oh, this is just the surround. The Banelings, the Hydras from the top. Blinding Cloud on top of all of the tanks. The Hydras able to kill stuff with impunity right here. The Blinding Cloud is just insane. GuMiho's army is effectively halved. It's 180 to 183 total supply. GuMiho is down big time. Hydras, Banelings coming in from that top right side. No blinding cloud this time. I don't think they actually care. Just absolutely going toe-to-toe with these tanks and then saying never mind. But GuMiho taps out anyway. That is a good game from GuMiho, and SoO is victorious. That was incredible. An incredible series, I just want to say. Yeah, that was really good. GuMiho gave SoO everything he could handle. I mean, this makes me excited to watch GuMiho in future events. He was on top of his game. His TVZ is absolutely on point. It's just, I mean, it was very close. It was a close series. Anything that goes 5 games in a best of 5 is going to be a close series. Resources lost to that last one. 31,000 for GuMiho compared to 23 for SoO, so that's going to make a difference. 52 SCVs went down. He just didn't have the income to keep up. With SoO towards the end there. Good. All right, so that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.